Welcome back to Little Things 2.0, and today we are diving into what to do when shit is shit. And I actually looked up what's another word for shit because I didn't want to be so blunt about this, but there isn't a better word for it. So we're going to let it be what it is, and sometimes it is shit. It's like a never-ending dumpster fire, or like you're on some sort of conveyor belt and it just keeps dumping crap on top of you as you're going through. Like I'm imagining like a chocolate-dipped cookie, but you are the cookie and the chocolate just keeps going over you on like a production line. Like that consistent of just never-ending, this kind of thing always happens to me, never works out for me, just my luck, I have no luck, shit is shit, and it's just piling on. And this is something I've been noticing across my social media is people sharing how much crap they are going through, and it's just never ending. And I wanted to dive into this. I don't know if it was just my algorithm or if that many people are seriously experiencing this pile upon pile of never ending negative, don't feel like dealing with this, nothing's going right. And it's just there's constant pelts, right, from life. And sometimes it's easy, especially as we're living it day in and day out, of like this nothing's going right, nothing's working out for me. Oh, here comes another bill in the mail, and here comes another problem. Or it's like I spill my coffee and then I get a flat and then I'm late for work, and then I couldn't get to my outfit changed and now I'm in these dirty clothes at work, and it's just the whole day has been non-stop, never-ending, back-to-back shit. And it's easy to focus on that when we wake up in the morning and we spill our coffee and we go, oh, well, what else could go wrong today? That starting point, that focal point, is going to grow throughout your day. Instead of, oh, I spilled my coffee, oh well, I'll make another coffee, or I'll grab a coffee on the way in, or maybe the break room has coffee today and I don't even need to worry about this right now. Taking those times and those moments to say, hey, maybe this isn't another thing. Maybe this isn't going to snowball my whole day into continuous, never ending piles of shit being thrown at me. How can we change those moments and then shift throughout our day, month, year? Some people say, I haven't had a good year for 10 years, or it's been a horrible 3 months. So instead of allowing ourselves to continue to experience that, how can we stop and shift and practice this? Here we go. What we focus on grows, and there is scientific evidence to this, and a few different research articles out there proving that what you focus on expands and what you don't focus on can disappear. Let's pause and remember what we focus on grows. And it's not just a cliche thing here. What we focus on grows. If you can shift your focus to what is lighting you up, even in just the slightest way, practicing that, saying, hey, my coffee spilt. However, I had coffee that I could make. I have this really pretty mug. I had a mean and mode of a way of cleaning that up. Slightly shifting it to change the focal point from, ugh, I spilled this, my day's gonna be ruined, what else can go wrong, to, oh, I fixed this, what else can go right, or in the direction that I would like it to go? Can you show me how good the day will get? Instead of, can you show me how shitty the day will get? Can you show me how good the day can get? Eventually, finding all of these little things and practicing that will snowball in the same manner as the negative snowball goes, because what we focus on grows. I want you to try this practice. If you have the ability to DM me on Instagram at Little Things Life Coach, please do this so we can claim it and focus on it and see how it works for you, because it's going to work. Might not be instant, but it's going to work. I want you to think of a car. I want you to visualize that car. I want you to get specific about the color, the make, or the model. Pick one of those three focal points, the color, make, or model. What really is key here is color. What car do you see when I ask you to visualize this car? I want you to hold on to the color of this car throughout the week while you're out and about. Take notice of how many times you see that color car. Now, if it's easier for you because you're like an automotive head, like my husband, think of the make or model. Pick one thing to focus on, and I want you to claim this. If you can message me, please do, of the color or that specific item about the car. All week, when you're out on the roads, take note of how many times you see that car. The first day, it might only be once or twice. Second day might be, what is going on? I just saw 8 green cars. By the end of the week, you may be seeing more of that color car than anything else. What you focus on will grow. So when you hear this and you are listening to this episode, I want you to message me the color car that you thought of, and a week later, I want you to check back in with me and let me know, how did that practice go for you? Did you continue to think about that car, that color, every time that you were out and about? Are you thinking about it? You have to stay aware, remember. Awareness is key in this practice. I want you to notice, have you stopped focusing on something else during this time? And did you notice that less focused item dissipate? I want you to take notice of that as well. Oh, I'm focusing on this color car while I'm out and about. What is something that you usually focus on when you're in traffic? Could it be that you're running late? Could it be that you're getting every red light? It's another one to try too. You focus on getting every red light, all the red lights are going to turn red. If you focus on getting all the green lights and you say, "Ooh, I love getting green lights," what you focus on will grow. Getting back into the letting shit be shit. Here's a practice for you. I want you to grab a piece of paper, and writing this is important because of the cognitive connection that it makes. Journaling is a cognitive practice. It helps you process through emotion, and the hand to brain coordination does something different that even I can't fully explain. That also has studies on it, and psych improvements and everything about journaling itself. But this is important to actually pen to paper, head to hand, write it out, practice. After you have your paper, I want you to set a 10-minute timer, and you're going to write down, what are you feeling? Everything you're feeling. Just keep going and going. And if you have to return to the prompt, what am I feeling? Get deeper and deeper and deeper into your feeling. And also within this 10-minute timer, I want you to write down what feels within your control, and stay on those 2 prompts for the full 10 minutes. What are you feeling, and what feels within your control? Next, moving through this process, I want you to write down, what are some ways that you are finding to choose how you want to feel? I'll repeat that because it's kind of long. Prompt. What are some ways you are finding to choose how you want to feel? Second prompt after the timer is, what are a few action steps you would like to take? And then I want you to give yourself some time. It doesn't have to be too long, like the 10 minutes. But I just want you to list out a few things that you love. It could be all the things that you love. It could be things that you're loving right now, things that you've loved before. Write down some things that you love that come to mind as you're doing this practice. After you're done doing those prompts, I want you to think about another shift here. as we look at the list of things that we love and feel the emotions around them, we can then shift into the interpretation of those emotions, the emotion of love, and all of the other things that we had just written in that practice. We can start to process that. And as we start to process that, we develop our own interpretation of that emotion, and essentially that pulls out a feeling. So emotion and feeling are two separate things. Let's connect this back to the shit being shit real quick, just for some grasp of this difference of emotion versus feeling. So spill your coffee. The emotion that may immediately be triggered from that coffee spilling could be a little bit of irritation, maybe some anger, frustration, maybe even sadness, depending on if that was your last K-cup or not, So that triggered this emotion. Now, as we allow that situation to have happened, we then start thinking about it. And we think, oh, how can I make sense of this? Why did this happen? What else is going to go wrong? So instead of letting our minds take us from a coffee spill down a spiral of emotion, we can stop and pause and allow our emotion to be what it is, but also allow our emotion to kind of guide us like an alert of what action to take. And usually it's going to be thinking, right? Maybe throwing something, slamming the cabinet, all of those actions that come from our emotion alert. So instead of just react, we can stop and pause and think, okay, how can I turn this emotion into a feeling? And therefore choose with practice. How do I want to choose to feel? What other feelings could I feel in this moment? Okay, the coffee spilled. That was annoying. I'm a little ticked off. However, I can choose to let that be that, move on, and choose my next feeling. What is a feeling that you would like to feel? Is it happy? Is it content? Is it grateful? Is it excited? Is it energized? What other feeling would you like to choose? See how the start of this was nothing ever goes right. Emotion, emotion, emotion. 2, stop and think and process. Try the practice that we went over. If you have to go back and pause at different spots as you do it, feel free. And then come back to here. So how do we process that, right? And it is a practice. It's not just going to be overnight. Okay, well, I'm working through my emotions. I'm choosing my feelings. There are going to be times that test you, but it's in those moments of testing where you choose your focus and what you want to grow. Ultimately, allowing our emotions to shift for gratitude is a completely different section here as well. So oftentimes we hear, well, you have to be grateful. We don't have to be. You can be, even in the moments of shit being shit. This practice that we've gone over can allow you to pull out those moments of, hey, I love this. I love this thing. Here's my list of things that I love. How can I look at that and choose gratitude? Well, I am grateful for the things that I love. Is an easy start, simple start. Don't really like the word easy, but it's a simple start. It's easy because you can see it. It's in your list, right? This is what I love, and I'm grateful to be loving that item. I'm grateful that I have a list of things that I love, even if it was tricky to write it right now. I still have this list. I still have this practice and process that can guide me to choosing gratitude. Even when shit is shit, here's how I can find these moments, these little things, to practice gratitude, to practice getting back to myself, to practice choosing, even while the shit is being shit. What we focus on grows. what we don't focus on can disappear. It can just whoosh, be gone with you, right? So that magical pause moment, that practice and process, if you would like to download the practice that I just walked you through in workbook form, the link is in the show notes. I would love to have you have it. It's called the Reel It Back In Workbook. So it's for those moments of the external, possibly even internal, taking over. And it's just like this spiral of emotion, 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 right? I have to react to the shit being shit. I have to tell myself that this is just how my life is. Instead of, okay, that happened. How can I practice getting out of this never works out for me? It's the Reel It Back In workbook is a fantastic place to start. If you are looking for further support on navigating those dumpster fire days, if you're one of those people who is currently saying to yourself, it never works out for me, it never will work out for me, however, I want to change that, keyword change that. I don't want to live like this anymore. I don't want to experience the shit after shit on the conveyor belt. Jump into my DMs, book a daily chat or a one-on-one mindset session. Further details on that available through my DMs. I want you to listen through this episode again whenever you feel like you need to, because there are those moments, there are those weeks where it truly is like you get something in the mail and you're on this spiral. You can allow yourself to sit in that emotion from that trigger for as long as you need to. However, I want you to remember that you do have a choice. You can pause. You can change the "this never works out for me" script in your head to, you know what? What if things do work out for me? What if this does go right? What if this does go the way that I want it to? What if I do realize that life is beautiful and it does work out for me, even though the shit will still be shit. We are humans. This is an experience, right? It's all just an experience. It's what we do with those moments and our focal points that end up making the difference. But you have to start. You have to start that change. It's not going to be, this overnight, easy, magical thing that happens just because you do it once. There's going to be tests, there's going to be triggers, there's going to be all of those experiences that you get to work yourself through. You get to choose your focal point and look at what grows as you do that. And you get to practice this. And it is a beautiful thing, even as the shit is being shit. Jump into my DMs at any time. I would love to know the color car that you're focusing on for a week. I'm excited to see all of that transpire. And remember, there's always someone believing in you. If you can't find that person, be that person, or join me next time.